You are born in Jiangnan village outside Nanjing, in a house of packed earth and bamboo beams. Winter smoke hangs in the air as your mother lifts you with hands that smell of ash and rice flour, your father leaning close with the scent of fields on his sleeves. You grow up inside the rhythm of seasons. Spring mud between your toes, summer nights thick with crickets, autumn millet drying on woven mats, winters spent huddled around a clay stove. A few years later, you turn 5. Your toys are scraps of cloth, carved twigs, a copper coin on a string. On market days, you trail behind your mother past shouting traders and tubs of slithering eels. You learn chores early, drawing water from the well, rinsing rice, shaking dust from blankets. Here, daughters marry young, and everyone prepares early. You're 16 when the matchmaker arrives. Your parents nod with relief, as if settling an old debt. You marry a steady man, not wealthy, not educated, but dependable. He trades small goods, repairs tools. You build a life with him in a cramped house. Children soon arrive one by one, filling the rooms with small footsteps. Your dreams are modest, a sturdier door, a full-grain jar, your eldest son apprentice someday. Ordinary hopes you never imagined can be so easily destroyed. You've just turned 29 when rumors of war trickle in like bad weather reports. You hear of soldiers clashing near Shanghai from refugees arriving with stories too sharp to believe. Your husband says civilians are safest. Armies fight armies, not families like yours. So you keep living, tending the market stall, patching clothes, rocking the toddler who clings to your hip. But the city air grows tighter. More soldiers pass through. Windows shutter earlier. Then the attack comes. Not as a rumor, but as artillery sounds shaking bowls off shelves. Smoke blooms over rooftops. People run. Houses burn. You clutch your toddler, scream for your older children, and feel your husband's hand dragging you through crowds that move like a single panicked animal. Neighbors sprint past, clutching bundles, dragging crying children. Smoke rolls in from the direction of the gates. Your husband pulls you toward the city center, toward the market district, the route you know best. But the streets convulse with bodies pushing in every direction. In the rush, 2 of your children, your first daughter and second son, slip from your grasp. One moment they're ahead of you. The next, the mob swallows them whole. You scream their names, but the river of fleeing bodies carries you forward. You and your husband reach the Nanjing safety zone, with only 3 children left. Inside the fence, safe is just a word, because Japanese soldiers still roam. Life inside the safety zone is a tightened breath. You sleep in a cramped classroom with dozens of others, bodies lined up like fallen fence posts. Every night, new refugees slip in with stories you wish were lies. House-to-house searches, executions on street corners, women dragged away. You learn to listen without reacting, to hold your toddler close, to keep your gaze low when soldiers pass the perimeter. That's where you meet her. A girl no older than 12 who has lost everything. Parents, siblings, self. Even the house she keeps describing as if speaking it might rebuild it. She follows you everywhere, hovering like a shadow too afraid to detach. You see your missing daughter in her and pray she's all right. You share rice when you have it, water when you don't. Your husband tells you to leave her, that she's damaged, but you refuse. In a place where no one promises anything, you promise she won't be alone. But the safe zone is only safe on paper. One late night, shouts crack the air. A patrol storms the building. Boots, curses, the thud of rifle stocks. You barely have time to drop your toddler with your husband before a hand hooks your hair and yanks you forward. Your husband tries to reach you, but a soldier knocks him down and forces him back with the butt of a gun. The girl is beside you, almost invisible until a Japanese soldier screams and points at her. You try to protect her, but another group of soldiers marches her away without explanation. You never see her again. You're shoved into a truck alongside a handful of women. The truck jerks forward. The metal floor vibrates under your knees. The rope around your wrists burns. Somewhere, a woman whispers her own name over and over, as if trying to keep herself from disappearing. You understand the instinct. You feel yourself thinning too. You're all taken to a house that smells like bleach, trying and failing to hide sweat and despair. You're herded into a line with women from everywhere. Some women were kidnapped. Some were tricked with promises of factory work. You see Korean girls barely older than school children, Chinese mothers like you, and a few Southeast Asian women who speak languages no one here understands. Names don't matter. You're handed a number, plain clothing, and the command to cooperate. You're taken to a medical room next. There, you see a lamp too bright to look into, a table too cold to lie on, and a doctor who touches you like you're an object he's been assigned. For the Army, you now exist only as risk management. You are brought here for one reason. The military is building a system to control soldiers and prevent the spread of disease. The soldiers are fighting a long, brutal war, and the Army wants them disciplined, efficient, and healthy. Commanders believe that providing access to intimacy will keep troops obedient, reduce assaults in public, and maintain order in occupied territories. They do not want a repeat of what happened in Nanjing. So women become policy, and you'll all become what they refer to as comfort women. You're all soon registered like equipment, inspected like livestock, and counted like supplies. Your first day as a comfort woman sees you being chosen by a soldier barely out of his teens. You try to resist him, but he doesn't even say anything. His hollow eyes look past you as he forces you down and makes you do your job. As the act is perpetrated, your husband is the only person you can think of. You mutter to yourself that you didn't betray him, that you're being forced. The act itself is mechanical, as after it is done, he gets up and leaves. Not one word. Not an insult. Not an apology. He just treated you like a tool. And maybe to him you are. To him, you're just a body count as the numbers pinned to your clothing exist so officers can track usage. The weekly examinations exist to maintain operational readiness. The injections exist to keep you alive just enough to continue being used. You're not here because of who you are. You're here because the system needs bodies, and yours was available. You cannot help but feel dirty, like one of the tools your husband leaves outside in the dirt till he needs it, only to abandon it in the dirt again after use. Here, routine forms quickly. Morning cleaning until your fingers crack. Afternoons of soldiers flicking through photo cards to choose their comfort woman. Evenings become rotations. Door slides open, door slides shut. Injections burn through your veins. Examinations pry you apart. You stop counting days. You count only how long until you're allowed to sleep, and whether you can. You learn quickly that survival isn't built on strength. It's built on proximity. The women you sleep beside, wash beside, break beside become your only world. The first bond forms with a Korean girl who arrived the same week as you. She shares a handful of cold rice she stole from the kitchen, pressing it into your palm like a secret. Another woman from Manchuria hums lullabies when someone wakes screaming. A teenager from Suzhou smuggles scraps of bread in her sleeve and distributes them like alms. At night, the women lie in a row, whispering hometowns like passwords. The canal near Ningbo, the market road of Jeolla, a temple bell in Guangdong. You trade names, stories, recipes you can't cook anymore. It's not hope. It's something humbler. A reminder you were once more than a room number. Because in a place designed to erase you, these bonds become the thin thread that keeps you from disappearing entirely. But some women did end up disappearing. Not all of you are built the same. Some die when a soldier becomes too violent. Some caught diseases that had no cure. Others just break like overused tools do. The Japanese spare their bodies no pity, as they're quickly disposed of over cliffs or in mass graves. When your period stops one day, you already know what it means. No celebration, no fear of motherhood, just the sinking truth that the body has betrayed you again. The forced procedure is swift and brutal. No softness, no explanation. Only a nurse's indifferent grip and the sharp, efficient violence meant to erase proof that these men are not gods, only monsters who fear consequences. Still bleeding, you return to your assigned room and face the soldiers. Each man is a different kind of wound. There is the young one, barely into his 20s, who whispers apologies you never asked for as if words could unmake what he forces on you. There is the one with the missing eye, whose demands blur the line between cruelty and ritual. And the one who shows you a family photo before climbing onto you. Wife, 2 children, all smiling, as if their faces blessed the act. Years pass, and you turn 32. No one cares. All that matters is that you're a woman and are available. You hear that the war's tide has shifted, that the war has become deadlier. So you shift with it. Not by choice. Never by choice. Each retreat, each new offensive means relocation. You are herded from the Nanjing station onto trucks that smell of sweat and gasoline, then squeezed into rail cars where air thins and women faint against one another. You wonder if your husband and children know you are here, or if they are still in Nanjing. Later, you're all loaded on a ship. Its deck pitching under a blank moon, waves slapping the hull like impatient hands. Every move rearranges your world. Familiar faces disappear during roll calls. Some collapse from illness. Others simply never reappear after a stop. You learn not to ask. In their place come new women, wide-eyed, trembling, carrying their own fresh nightmares. New soldiers too, each garrison with its own flavor of cruelty, its own routines. New rules, new schedules, new dangers. What you learn is this: geography changes nothing. Every border crossed is just another shape of prison, another room where you measure survival one breath at a time. Your life follows this routine for years. Move, new oppressors, new companions, then move all over again. You're 37 when you hear the rumors. Whispers among guards, frantic radio static, a single phrase repeated with dread. A bomb dropped on Japan. A city erased in a flash. Panic spreads through the garrison like infection. Soldiers pace, argue, curse, break things they can't fix. Some beg for news. Others drown their fear in rage. And when fear grows too large for their bodies, they spill it onto yours. One night during the panic, the soldier that always showed you his family photo comes to your room drunk and angry. He doesn't say anything this time. You wait for him to initiate anything, but that just seems to piss him off as he slaps you. He pushes you to the floor as he punches you while screaming it is all your fault. You have no defense, as no one comes to your rescue. After the beatdown, he finally commits the act. This time, it is brutal, but you see that it is sharpened by desperation, as it is quick, frantic, cruel even in its hurry. When he's done, he starts weeping, telling you to forgive him. He says his family was in the city that was bombed, begs you to pray hoping they survived. He passes out before he can say the next sentence. By nightfall, other soldiers come to carry him away. You never see him again. Then one day, the Allies arrive, guns up, faces hard, expecting ambushes but finding only the wreckage of a system. You see a few guards flee into the forest. Others turn their guns inward to try and hide the deeds. They are all stopped, but not before some casualties. You are soon herded out into daylight, blinking, brittle, skeletal. For the first time in years, no one tells you where to stand. The journey home is a long unraveling. Trucks, trains, footpaths. You see war in full color. Burned out villages, bomb craters swallowing fields, crowds of refugees stumbling toward futures too small to hold them. Nanjing is barely recognizable, a city stitched together with grief. You find your old neighborhood and feel relief rise in your throat. You find your husband's new address. You didn't mind the strange look people give you when you tell them you're his wife. When you knock, a young boy opens the door. You notice he looks like your son. You already fear the worst, but the female voice that comes next confirms it. Your husband has remarried. He soon comes to the door and tells you with no shame, no hesitation, that he cannot take you back. He says he cannot take back a Japanese plaything, says the children are with relatives, that it's kinder if they think you died. And somehow, you agree with him. Better an absent mother than one who went through what you did. You stand there, hollow, realizing liberation has delivered you into a different kind of exile, one where you're alive, but your place in the world has already been filled. So you begin drifting. Your 30s blur into your 40s as you drift from town to town, taking whatever work no one else wants. Laundry that cracks your fingers, chopping vegetables in market stalls, or hauling water for tea houses. You sleep on borrowed mats and storage floors. You train yourself to be small, silent, unremarkable. You avoid men. You avoid your own reflection. You freeze whenever you hear Japanese because the sound turns your bones to ice. Every night you dream of your children, the ones lost in the chaos, the ones your husband kept from you. Sometimes you wonder about the girl taken from the safe zone. You picture her with a gentle husband, safe, untouched by the years that devoured you. In your 50s, your body begins to fail in ways no doctor bothers to name. Nightmares yank you awake. Memories ambush you in daylight. Sometimes you faint in the street when a motorcycle backfires. People call it nerves. You never correct them. By your late 50s, work becomes scarce. Wrinkles deepen, joints stiffen, and no one would hire an aging woman who flinches at loud sounds. You become a ghost along market edges, surviving, but not quite living. Hope unravels slowly, thread by thread, and through all these years, the world never acknowledges what happened to you. You are in your early 60s, selling vegetables in a dusty market, when someone calls your childhood name. A pre-war friend stands there, limping, older, carrying the same weathered grief you do. He tells you the impossible. Your eldest son is alive. The boy who was 9 when you last saw him. His own children met your son at an American university. 2 young men from the same ruined hometown. He promises to help contact him, though letters move slowly. You don't mind. You have waited over 30 years without hope. Waiting with hope is almost a luxury. Months turn into a year, then 2. Then one morning, a soft, deliberate knock. You open the door. Your son stands there, older, Americanized, but unmistakably his father's face. For a heartbeat, he looks at you like you are a ghost he has spent decades chasing. Then the two of you collapse into each other, 40 years shattering in a single breath. He takes you to the United States. On the first quiet night, he tells you the truth he had carried alone. Your youngest, the toddler you carried through fire, died in the safe zone from illness and hunger. Only your daughter is left and has built a life far away. You weep together, at last, not in solitude. Your final years are gentle. A warm room, family nearby. When you die, your son's hands are in yours. Years after your death, the world shifts. Newspaper print words you waited a lifetime to hear. Apologies, acknowledgments, committees convening to name what was done to women like you. The Kono Statement, televised testimonies, documentaries where strangers debate a truth you carried in your bones. None of these apologies reach you. None can bring back the women who died nameless. But for those still living, for those who can finally speak without fear, it means the world to them.